Here's our Christmas message, Buy Local, Buy Suffolk.
We've had such a great time talking to some amazingly talented people across the county, all of whom would love to see you this Christmas.
So without further ado, let's start our Suffolk Christmas. Welcome to our special Christmas editions of the Suffolk Pod Show. These shows are produced and managed by podtalk.co.uk. I'm Mark Mason.
And I'm Susanna Hornby. Christmas Part 4, talking to Little White Box, Thurston Butchers, Posy, Busy Bees Cosmetics, and Rising High Balloons.
Rebecca is an award-winning interior designer and owns Little White Box, a stunning home shop in Lavenham. Rebecca talks about some of the amazing work she has done around the world, as well as her beautiful in-store collections, including her Nordic Christmas decor.
Hello and welcome to Rebecca.
Oh, hello there. Hi, thanks for having me on.
No, it's a pleasure to have you here. Rebecca, you have an illustrious history with your design and your interior design. You own the Little White Box shop in Lavenham now.
Yes, that's right.
But you started off with interior design, I'm guessing, at school, but you trained at the Surrey Institute of Art and Design.
I did, yeah. That's called the Surrey Institute of Art and Design now. It's now called the University of the Arts. It's in Farnham. Beautiful place to study, and it was a great course.
And from there, you moved straight into London.
Yes, so I worked, first of all, couldn't get a job. So I worked as a CGI artist doing sort of computer generated visuals, and then finally got as a job as a junior interior designer in the West End doing sort of high end residential and big apartments and things there.
And you were clearly very good because you've won an award or several.
Yes, yeah, we won the Daily Mail Property Awards, which are still running now, and we won. We had a project that we were working on, a penthouse at Orchard Court, and it won the Best International Apartment and Best UK Apartment. So yeah, quite proud of that one. It was part of a team, but yeah, quite proud.
Amazing. I'm not surprised you were headhunted.
Yes, I was headhunted by a client that actually was one of their clients. A bit naughty, but yes, they sort of saw potential in me, I suppose, and asked me to work on some of their private residences in the Isle of Man, and that's when I kind of started to set up Little White Box. A Little White Box being because it was called that because I was always had a messy desk, and they kept telling me to tidy up some white paper maquettes and things I had on my desk. So I thought, you know what, just to spite you, I'm going to call it Little White Box. So that was where it came from. So I worked over there for on and off for 2 years, and that started the business really.
So what brought you back to Suffolk?
So I ran out of houses over there. So I was they were a property developer, but I was doing sort of the higher end houses, sort of mansions and things. So once I'd done 3, I was getting more and more work, more local work, and we wanted to have a family. And traveling wasn't as easy, so I started up Little White Box, and we soon outgrew my back bedroom and moved into a place in Coggeshall, and it just kind of blossomed from there really and grew bigger and bigger. So that's kind of, I was living in Colchester, and I sort of rented a small space in Coggeshall, and then eventually ended up being in a larger shop in the centre of Coggeshall, which we sort of developed and made my showroom. So having a shop was by accident really, because we had it set up as an interior design showroom with chairs and things where you could customise and make your own furniture and choose the fabrics. But also we had some accessories and nice lighting and things, and we were just selling stuff really quickly. So we thought, well, do you know what? Why don't we have some of the space? It was a big shop. Why don't we have some of it set up and for things to buy, nice homewares and things? Yeah. And actually was doing that sort of more and more. So then we had 2 parts of the business, which was the interior design and the homewares. So it sort of worked really, really nicely. And that's how we ended up in Lavenham, because we needed a bigger showroom still. And I sort of do the work that we were doing as interior designers became international. I was working a lot in New York, and we did a project in Mallorca. So I didn't actually need a UK showroom for the interiors. So the homeware kind of took over really. So yeah, but they work quite nicely hand in hand, which is good.
Oh, I was going to say they feed each other.
They do, definitely. Yeah. It's nice that you can do an interior and then you can furnish it with pieces that you've picked yourself. And also gives much better value to the client because you're buying those things at wholesale and they're not being charged an amount of money on top of, the retail cost. So, it just worked really, really well and was just sort of the missing link, really.
Now, the style of your shop is very specific. Can you describe it?
Well, it gives you a bit of an inkling as to how we're little white box. So everything that we do in the showroom is set out like you would have in a home. So, for example, everything is in, when I say room sets, but it's like for example, with our Christmas range at the moment, we've got like all silvers and neutrals and woods and things in one room, and then you've got more Nordic sort of colours and tones and things in another. So it's our brand, I would say, is very much pared down. I say neutral, but still with a bit of sparkle and texture. We love texture. So I would say that what I like is the fact that you could pick up 4 items from anywhere in my store, and I know that they would all work well together.
Clever.
And I only buy things I like. So it's not. I don't buy things because I think, oh, well, let's have some, Edwardian dark furniture here and then some silver encrusted things in that corner. And because if I wouldn't have that in a project or in my own home, then I can't fall in love with it and I can't sell it. So everything is very much, we have different styles, but it's all would sit very well together. We do a lot of period homes as well. So, I do like that sort of juxtaposed mix between old and new, an old antique sideboard, but with, a new mirror above or a porcelain lamp or something. So it's still an eclectic mix. It's not boring. It's just full of texture and tone rather than loads and loads of different colours and styles.
We love, personally, the Nordic, all Scandinavian furniture and styling, actually, personally. But
yes,
you're offering Christmas decorations within that theme as well.
Yeah, so we're just about to actually, because of lockdown, it was a little bit slower, but there's a Christmas tree farm near me where we've customized, it sounds a bit bizarre, but customized a greenhouse and painted it all sort of black. And we've got a chandelier hanging in it, and we've got some faux skins and some wood and some black raw tie and candlesticks. So we're going to be doing a shoot soon for some of the accessories to really get the point across. But yes, I love the Nordic look. I think it's, at heart, I really love modern things, but I'm not a minimalist. I prefer the rustic textures that you get with Nordic, but I like the monochrome look with the black and the heavy metal against the whites and the grey woods. And so I think really for us, Christmas Nordic is the way. But then I also like a little bit of glitter every now and again, or a glittery candlestick, or something that just gives a bit of a sparkle.
I was going to say, no, quite.
We're usually head to toe in glitter by the end of the season. So,
and then you've got to get it off everything.
Exactly. No, I think we just give up.
You offer all sorts of beautiful things on your website. The decorations, can you describe them? Because they're really unique.
Yeah, so we have anything from, a concrete star. So it's something with sort of indentations in. But then we've also got a really lovely bauble that is heavy, but it's got like a bronze top and it's got a silver crackle to it. So it looks like it's been fired, but it's mirror black. It's like lots and lots of broken faceted face that really, really catch the light. And they're quite nice because it doesn't matter what colour scheme your Christmas is. I mean, at the shop at the moment, in one of the window displays, we've got a Christmas tree that's mixing it up with golds and silvers and metallics. So you don't have to have a silver theme or a gold theme. You can have, all of those colours together, just set a really warm tone, and have loads and loads of texture. That's always been my kind of the way I like to style interiors, and we do many a Christmas tree over the festive period for clients. So I prefer the more classic, I'd say less fashionable look, that really kind of pared down, I think homely look.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And talking of textures, what are real feel faux flowers?
Real feel faux flowers.
Yeah.
So we have a what I call our florist section in our shop, and it fools most people, especially in the summer. And we have a little secret plug-in just behind, just to give the scent.
Yeah.
And people, we have them all set out in florist buckets, no labels showing, so it looks like a florist.
Yeah.
And when you feel them, they've got like a really cool touch silicone middle on some of the flowers, especially the peonies and the roses, and they give you the sensation of touching a real rose or a real peony. So we really, really are just absolutely love our faux flowers. You know, you could have one stem just with a branch of eucalyptus in a pot, and it just does look lovely. And we have a lot of clients that style, you know, our roses and peonies with real eucalyptus from the garden or foliage from the garden. So you can make a rather impressive centre display or something on a kitchen island for actually not very much money if you just invest in a couple of really realistic faux flowers. I think faux flowers got a bit of a bad rap a while ago, but now they're really incredible. We only buy from one factory. We won't ever buy anywhere else because it fools everyone. You just can't. You know, it's difficult to tell that they are faux.
No, I know. I mean, I have to tell you this. We had a mad uncle who stayed with us way back, and my mother has faux geraniums, and he came downstairs every morning and watered it. He was so cross. It was dry.
Well, actually, we just before lockdown, we were fortunate enough to just to give some lighting to quite a big Instagrammer, Lydia Millen. She's massive on Instagram, and she had one of our lights. But I sent her as a thank you for sort of featuring us some faux flowers, and I wrapped them like a bouquet, and she left them on the side of the island because actually it was one of our drivers that actually delivered the chandelier, and apparently he turned to her and said, "You really better put these in water because they've been out a while." And she said, "They're fake." So I can vouch for that someone with very good taste did think that they were actually indeed they were faux, real. So so that was my claim to fame. I fooled Lydia Millen's husband.
Very good. Where can we buy all of your beautiful things?
Well, we're really, really have tried hard this year. Lockdown's not been easy on us in Lavenham. It's only a small high street and we're 100% independent. We've got some beautiful shops. So what we did was all of the time, 24/7, you can order on the website. That's always been the case. Throughout November, we're doing free delivery. Local delivery, we can usually do free anyway. And you can actually come to the store. We obviously can't be open at the moment until 2nd December, but we've actually got an iPad stand that you can browse. It's sanitized between each person. You can have a look through the windows. We've turned all the shop around so it faces the windows. We've got some really big windows at the front of the store, so you can actually see in and look at things any time you want. We're open for click and collect between 10 and 2. We're just not open on Mondays. But we're there because we're wrapping up online orders, and so we are at the store. So if you do see something, you can browse and pay on the iPad, and we can hand it to you within a few minutes. So you really can still shop. And there's a lot of shops in Lavenham are doing the same, click and collect, or if you see something in the window, you can message the owner. So, you know, don't stay away from the high street. Still have a wander. People are doing takeaway coffees. Lavenham is definitely open, and we just need the support of everyone in this time. And hopefully people haven't bought everything in the garden centres and still are going to be purchasing stuff from the independents, because we really need you. And we've got some beautiful products for people to see.
Well said, Rebecca. Well said. Lavenham is on the list. Thank you.
It is on the list.
Thank you so much.
Please come.
Yeah, go.
Go.
Thanks ever so much. It's been lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, really nice. Thank you for having me on.
And a very happy Christmas to you and all your family.
And you too. Stay safe.
And you. Bye.
A Merry Christmas from the Suffolk Pod Show.
Alistair Angus is the owner of the traditional but very different Thurston Butchers. Alistair has a real flair for good business and sells only the best quality, high welfare local produce. He, along with his young team, have developed an ever-revolving, creative and friendly shop experience for clients old and new.
And now we're going to Thurston and we are talking to Alistair. Hello, Alistair.
Hi, Susanna.
Hello, welcome on the show. It's lovely to have you here. We're looking at your history here, and I don't know how we connect the two, but you walked out of university with a philosophy degrry.
That's correct, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know whether I'm one of the only butchers in the country that has a philosophy degree, but yeah, it's not exactly the normal path one would go down to get into butchery, but it seems to have kind of worked okay for me. Yeah, basically did a philosophy degree at Nottingham, and at the end of that decided that I wanted to do something a little bit more vocational, and found myself running a farm shop for a year for some people I knew. And basically it's kind of gone from there. A lot of people finish university, particularly with an arts-based degree, and kind of don't know exactly what avenue to go down. And I knew that I didn't really want to spend my life kind of reading Plato and Aristotle anymore. So I kind of ventured down this route, and I've just stuck with it and loved it ever since.
Now, you fell into butchery. I can't think you just fall into it. What attracted you to doing that?
I was always interested in food all throughout university. Me and my mates would always cook food. We'd always talk about it. And my father is from a farming background, albeit arable, but I was always around farming as an industry. So I think I kind of grew up with a slight passion for knowing where food came from. And obviously coming up, basically moved to Suffolk when I was 1. So I've been aware of what amazing stuff we have on our doorstep. And I think I always wanted to get behind that kind of local food push. I could see it becoming a bit more on trend. People were a bit more aware at the time of where their food was coming from. So it seemed really fitting to kind of go into that industry. I didn't necessarily know it was going to be the meat industry, but once I fell into it, it was great. I love the ability to see a product through from start to finish. You know, you can meet the farmer in the field, discuss the breed of cattle, discuss how old it is, what it's eaten. And then at the end of the day, you end up not only with the end product, but also hopefully the customer feedback telling you how good it was. So you get a full circle, and I find that really rewarding.
I'm not surprised. And then you got the opportunity to get your shop.
Yeah, so about kind of 7-8 years into my career, Thurston Butchers came on the market, and it just seemed like the right time to kind of to take the leap. I mean, there's never a right time to kind of set up and start your own business. It always feels like a risky move, but I think once you're on that treadmill, you don't have any other choice but to just keep going. And yeah, fortunately, we've surrounded ourselves with an amazing team. And because of that, we've managed to grow the business. The community has really got behind us. And yeah, it was a really good move for me and for everyone else. Yeah.
So you are a traditional butchers, but you also are quite different.
We do all the cuts that you would traditionally expect from, you know, your classic butchery range, but we like to pride ourselves on doing a lot of value-added products. So a lot of things where we mold things into different shapes, we stuff things, we marinate things. To us, it's part of the experimental process is why we love the job. We don't want to just put the same slabs of meat out in the same area of the counter each week. We want customers to come in and try different things. We want to try different things ourselves. Some don't work. Fortunately, 95% of them do. But it's part of the process, I think, as what we do as a young team as well, to innovate. And we've got a cookhouse that's in the building now as well. So we can use that. We can cook the product before we test it, you know, and then it's all part again of the process of coming up with these amazing products that our customers love. They love coming in each week and seeing something different, something new.
No, I'm sure. And you must be attracting a younger audience doing that too.
Exactly. That's exactly one of the things that was one of my main aims when I took Thurston on, to be honest. Traditionally, butcher shops can be quite scary, daunting places. They're often very male dominated, tends to be kind of older gents that run butcher shops. So I think for certain clientele, I think for particularly younger clientele, it can be quite an intimidating atmosphere, you know, and I think we've really kind of changing the mold in terms of how butcher shops are, because we want to be really friendly. You know, if someone comes in and they've never gone to a butcher's before, we want to say, okay, well, if you normally buy it from a supermarket, this is the kind of weight that you would be buying in this pack, you know, and then slowly changing their shopping habits through kind of nurturing them, as opposed to it being a scary place.
No.
We use social media a lot as well, which engages younger customers. And there's a real resurgence with food. You know, you look at MasterChef, you look at all of these cook shows on TV. Younger people are coming into food and wanting to do different things. They're wanting to experiment with different cuts of meat as well. So we're really proud to kind of be engaging with that community.
Amazing. I want to come. I'm going to come as soon as you can open again. Now, all the normal meat you would have, what I call normal is all the sort of standard fare as such, and local, of course. But do you specialise in game?
We do a lot of game. So we're fortunate we've got Rougham Estates on our doorstep who do a lot of our pheasants and partridge. Unfortunately, the shooting season's basically been put on hold due to coronavirus. But we also deal with local venison. We've got a couple of really good local game dealers who show us what's going on, and they're able to promote different things at different times depending on what they've got. We also have Kerry that works with us. She's amazing. She also goes out shooting. So she will shoot things. She'll shoot rabbits, venison she's brought in before. We've had pheasants. So again, it's all part of that whole cycle, that process. And she really engages with customers with regards to game and that sort of side of things as well.
I think it's fascinating. Now, how do we buy our meat from you? Do we actually have to come to your shop?
So, yeah, at the moment, we've constantly, since coronavirus hit, we've been changing the system throughout in terms of how best we orchestrate things. Fortunately, we haven't closed at all. We're open just the same opening hours as we always have been and have remained open. Brilliant. Which is really fortunate. But basically, at the moment, if you come to our shop, we're open as usual. We're one in, one out in order to try and keep our staff and our customers as safe as possible. We've also set up a delivery service as well. So for particularly those in need that are most vulnerable and unable to get out, we offer free local delivery. We also work on a drive-through basis as well. So if you order from us, the following day you can come and collect after 3 p.m. and one of us will bring it direct out to your car, thus saving you time queuing. And it also means it's completely contactless. So we can come out with a card machine, you can pay via contactless, and we can put the product straight in the boot of your car, for instance, which again that's becoming really, really popular. Next year, we're hoping to launch an online order system as well, which is quite exciting. And we've just acquired a van as well. So we're going to be doing trips to London. We're going to be going all over the place. We've been inundated with people requesting that they've got children that live in London and they keep coming back, love the food and want it down there. So it might be that we do monthly trips down there. I mean, to be honest, if there's a demand for it, we're up for trying it. We're up for doing different things. So it's quite exciting to see what's on the horizon for next year.
Amazing. I don't think I've ever met a philosophical butcher before, but you definitely are one.
That's good. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, it's meant as one. Well, Alistair, are you also, I presume you're supplying for Christmas too. Are orders starting to come in?
Yeah, they're coming in thick and fast. I think this year in particular, because of what everything's going on in the world, people are ordering a lot earlier. I think they want some sort of, they want just something to look forward to be honest. I think they just want some certainty. They want something in the order book, knowing that we're going to take care of them and look after them. I think we're going to be exceptionally busy with a lot more orders, but they look like they're going to be slightly smaller orders, obviously, as people are catering perhaps for fewer people, fewer guests over Christmas. But we're going to be as flexible as we can with customers, and we'll be delivering again to those that are most in need. So it's going to look like a very different Christmas, but in terms of the products that people get, we're still going to be smashing it with good products for them. So
fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Well, good luck with the whole Christmas season. And we will be along as soon as we can, and look forward to tasting or buying some of the experimental meat or game or all of it. Sounds so delicious.
Thank you very much. Great. So we look forward to seeing you.
Happy Christmas.
Thank you. Happy Christmas.
Bye.
Merry Christmas from the Suffolk Pod Show.
Next, it's Leanne, owner of Posy, a gift shop and studio in Lavenham. Leanne is an established artist and is well known for wildlife canvases as well as her watercolour and ink sketches and paintings. Posy is a beautiful shop full of Christmas decor, original gifts and, of course, Leanne's art on postcards and prints.
Hello, Leanne, and welcome to the Suffolk Pod Show.
Thanks so much. Hi.
Well, it's lovely to have you with us. Looking forward to hearing all about Posy. It sounds like a really beautiful shop, and I will be racing down there as soon as we're let out of our houses. I'm looking at Lavenham, and Lavenham's such a beautiful, beautiful town, and you grew up there.
I did, yes. I grew up there, went to primary school there, and haven't actually ventured far from there. So there would be no reason to, actually, because it's just such a beautiful place. I have to say, I haven't found anywhere that's topped it so far. So I've kind of sort of went away a little bit, but came back, and it was definitely the only obvious choice to set up my shop. So I'm back firmly.
When did you start thinking or knowing that you were a talented artist?
Not to be too dramatic, but it was primary school. My everything I did was always pretty. Do you know what I mean? It was like I always, whatever piece of artwork, or whether it was maths, English, anything, it was always in my mind to make it look nice on the page. So I think certainly from a very young age, it was my teacher, Mrs. Lawson, actually at primary school all those years ago, was the first person to say to my parents that I had a bit of a flair for art. And it kind of has just stayed with me throughout my whole schooling, and something that I've followed by choice after that.
Yeah. Who do you get the talent from?
That's a good question, because actually I don't think there is much artistic talent in the family as such. So I don't actually know the answer to that.
Okay. No, sometimes people say, oh, definitely this person. And
I think as a family, we are all very sort of visual. We like sort of styling, nice things. So possibly, I've been surrounded by that kind of thing, but certainly painting, pen to paper, not so.
Now, you started off as an artist. When did you decide to buy a shop?
After I graduated in 2000, I was given the opportunity to manage a art gallery in Lavenham, actually. And it was amazing because we were able to support other local artists, makers, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that business gradually evolved into retail. So it was there my first taste of having retail experience, going to shows to buy, etc. So, and I loved it. And it was something that I kind of wanted to do on my own. But then obviously family comes along and babies, etc. So I kind of needed to diversify a little bit, and I did a lot away from working as such. I had my own wedding stationery business while I had my babies, so I always was kind of creative along the way. But the shop thing was always something in me that I wanted, and actually by chance it came up at a really good time, because obviously, as you can imagine, Lavenham being a lovely village, shop spaces don't really come up, and if they do, they're snapped up. So lucky enough to kind of know a lot of people in the village, and actually the woman, my landlady, I grew up in the same street as, so she kind of gave me first dibs on the space that came up. It just so happened that it was the right time for me, so I grabbed it, I took it, and I haven't looked back since. So really chuffed about it.
You took the shop.
I did, yes. I took it on with a lease of 5 years, which at the time sounded very daunting to me, because obviously you do never know, do you?
No.
But actually that 5 years has gone so fast, and it's just the best thing I've ever done. And I'm just so chuffed that I took the plunge, because it is scary. It is very scary to take it on.
So Posy is a beautiful art studio and creative store. Describe it to us better than I can. What's in that beautiful shop?
Well, I feel proud to say that actually I have at least 50 artists and makers filling my shelves with their beautiful creation, which I feel sort of gives my shop sort of a unique and inspiring edge. People are often commenting on, how they haven't seen things before and how I sort of put it together. And that to me is something that I strive for. I want it to be different because, as you know, that the competition, and there are so many other shops out there. So you kind of have to have your own thing going on. And obviously having my own artwork that I sell as well, it all adds to it. And people love to see me working in my shop. They're always commenting on how that's a rare sight and how they enjoy to see it. Some actually coming behind my desk and looking at my progress, which is sometimes a little bit intimidating, but it's nice. It's nice that people, that they like to see it, and it means that if the shop is quiet, which obviously sometimes it is, in retail you have those quiet spots, I'm able to get on with commissions and be creative. So I'm lucky like that.
Can we talk more about your art? Because you actually paint in different mediums, but first of all, your acrylics and your wildlife. You have a real talent for putting super animation into your dogs and hares and even a badger I saw. How do you do that? But tell us what you're doing at the moment.
I think for me, and I don't want to keep harping on about it, but being a visual person, sort of everything, interiors, styling, all of those things kind of important to me. So yeah, I concentrate on gorgeous colour combinations first and foremost, because obviously they're having to sit in people's homes and I want them to pop on people's walls, you know, and I think by adding a little bit of, like you say, personality in terms of flower crowns and wings and things, it's just, it makes them a little bit more charming and a little bit more whimsical, I guess, and just something, you know, that you can relate to more and want to look at, basically, that make you, I think it's all about a painting making you smile, and whether that be through what you've painted or the colours or anything, it's to make the person that's bought it feel good. So that's my kind of goal, really.
We can buy your art not just as paintings, obviously, but you do cards, greeting cards.
Yes, I do. So it was always a thing for me that I wanted to eventually expand on what I'm doing. And the original canvases are obviously a starting point. And from that, you know, the list is really endless of what you can do with those. So I started off by getting them printed as a really nice card range, which has been ever growing, which I sell in my gift shop, and people do buy them to frame and put on the wall. And you know, lots of people say they buy them for their card drawer and can never part with them. So it's quite nice that you know, I've got a little bit of a following for that. And then recently, I've developed a giclée print range, so it's a limited edition run, makes them a little bit more affordable than an original canvas, and you would ultimately frame them, but they're quite a big piece, so again could own a wall on their own, and those have been really popular. But most excitingly, actually, because I've been harping on about it to my customers for so long, that actually I wanted to get it printed on some fabric and be able to make a cushion range. So my assistant, Sharon, who works for me on a Sunday, she's fabulous, actually. She's like my little fairy. She does everything that I'd want her to. She has her own business called Elsie and Mim, and she creates beautiful cushions and fabric pieces, and often has a market stall at Lavenham Farmers Market, which is on a Sunday. I think it's the last Sunday of every month. And she, bless her, has made my panels that I've had printed onto velvet into beautiful cushions. So it's kind of a limited edition range, but it's kind of Sharon and I together doing it. So it's really nice. And they've again been really popular. And we kind of, at the moment, there's a few in the shop, but we're making to order because, like I say, it is a limited edition run. So I haven't wanted to churn them out. But again, really excited about it. And it's just another product to add to the range. So not sure what's going to be next, but I have to put my thinking cap on for that one.
That's what makes it an adventure.
Absolutely, it does. You know, I'm so lucky, I have to say, you know, because I'm so accessible, having a shop, people come in and they're like, could you just do this? Or could you just design that? Or could you just make that? And from that, you know, my portfolio is ever expanding, and I'm lucky because it kind of, you know, I work well to a brief. So it kind of, instead of having to kind of sit at the drawing table going, what shall I create? It's just a constant stream of being creative, and I couldn't ask for more, really.
No, and I know you paint in watercolour too. You've painted the Lavenham map for the tourists, haven't you?
That's right, yes. So a few years ago, we decided that it would be a good idea to create something that was visually stimulating for our visitors to navigate our village. And you know, we had a few people come in the shop who didn't realise we had a wonderful marketplace, and you know, a few people that didn't realise we had a high street or more streets with shops on that came off the high street. So it was important to us as a small community of shops and businesses that, you know, people that were visiting knew where everything was. So, and it was received so well. And actually, it was people were asking if they could frame it, put it on the walls. So it is now available as a print also.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah, yes, it is. And again, from that, actually Hadley, the Suffolk town, which is about 5 miles from Lavenham, they also commissioned me to paint Hadley. So it's kind of, again, a growing avenue. Something, I think Brighton asked me if I would be interested in illustrating some of the lanes. And obviously that's a huge project. So who knows where that little avenue is going to take me.
Amazing. Now, you are a Christmas girl.
I am. Love a bit of Christmas. I do. It's embarrassing, actually, because my customers at Christmas time are like, are you a pop-up Christmas shop? And I'm like, no, I know I look like it, but actually, no, I actually am here all year round. But at Christmas, it's everything Christmas. Just, I have a real fresh tree in the front of the shop, which obviously the smell you can imagine is just gorgeous. And I sell beautiful decorations, garlands, you name it, I sell it if it's beautiful. And, I try and support as many local businesses as I can, Suffolk based, gorgeous company called Illumins, and they are Suffolk based, and they've got a stunning candle called Verbier, and whenever I light it in the shop, the sales just go hugely.
Really?
Because it's just it's one of those smells that just kind of says Christmas. It's so nice.
It's an automatic switch, isn't it?
Exactly that, exactly.
Now, your shop will reopen, we hope, on the 2nd of December. But we can buy everything from you online, or we can call you too.
Yeah, so I do have a website, which is posy.online, which kind of gives you a little taste of what I'm about, what I do. My portfolio and things are on there. But actually the best, it's not actually an e-commerce website anymore. So you can't actually, devise a basket. So as a quick fix in these sort of testing times, I'm quite very active on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, and my customers have been absolutely awesome. They're following me. So I put a deck of the day on, and you can kind of comment and start a shopping, like a virtual shopping basket basically. So and just sort of say, yes, I'd like one, and I pop it in your basket, and then we can arrange the sale remotely. So you can pay me however you kind of like, and then arrange collection, and it's working really well actually. It's amazing how everybody's kind of sticking together and, really wanting to support local businesses, because they can see, firstly, how unfair it all feels, for the little shops to have to close their door. And also, actually, I think having a taste of the shops closing in the first lockdown, and actually how the village felt, when the doors were closed, they're just really wanting us to all survive it, I think, ultimately, is what they're thinking. So, the support we've received is just fab.
Before we go, because we have run out of time, I want to talk to you about Posy Fudge.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's funny because I love to cook and fudge. I love to eat fudge. So obviously it was a kind of a very happy partnership for me to try and make it. And I sold it from word go, but I used to bag it, chop it and bag it. And I then decided that actually we needed to do fudge by the bar, which actually coincided with the first lockdown. So it then became postal fudge by the bar, and I must say I made like over 100 bars of this fudge, and it's just gone really well. I now have literally fudge customers that just come for the fudge, so it's all good. It's brilliant. All good. And at Christmas I sort of make more Christmassy flavors as well, so I'm looking forward to getting my penny back on for December. So
Leanne, thank you so much. We wish you a very Merry Christmas and a very successful Christmas. And thank you so much for being on the show with us.
So kind of you. Thank you so much for, having me on and giving me the opportunity to talk about Posy and Lavenham. Appreciate it.
Well,
happy Christmas to you too.
And a very happy Christmas to you again. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Julie's the founder of Busy Bees Cosmetics and tells us about her innovative and natural products which are all made from beeswax from her husband's apiaries around Suffolk. Apart from selling some of the finest honey in the county, Julie tells us about her Christmas gift boxes made up of beeswax goods.
Welcome to Julie. Hello, Julie.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
You are living down there in beautiful Sudbury, where you run your apiary. We want to talk all about the beautiful things that you do. But to begin with, I understand that you originally lived in London.
That's right. So I worked for HSBC for 30 years, mainly working in London. And my husband worked for HSBC as well.
Ah, what did you meet there?
We did a long time ago. And then what happened was Kevin took early retirement 5 years ago. And I was quite happy to continue working for the bank. I transferred up to Norfolk. I was driving up from Suffolk to Norfolk every day. Lovely part of the world. But getting up at 5:30, driving an hour and a half each way, not much housework getting done at home. I suddenly thought, I'm not really enjoying this.
No.
So I said, and Kevin didn't want to talk about the bank anymore. So he suggested I give up my corporate career after 30 odd years and help him sell his honey. And I remember saying to him, who buys honey? Who buys honey? And so 4 years ago, I left the bank, and now we've got 6 types of honey. Kevin looks after 100 hives on 20 apiaries all around Suffolk. So we've got some beautiful houses and gardens that look after our bees, and Kevin goes and looks after the bees in those gardens.
Wow. And your honey looks absolutely gorgeous. But you particularly work with the beeswax.
Yeah. So we were extracting the honey from the hives, and the beeswax is left in the hives from the bees.
Right.
And Kevin said, we've got a lot of beeswax. Can you make anything with the beeswax? And I said, I don't know, but I fancy being creative. So I just did a lot of Googling on YouTube, a lot of recipes, and just thought, I think there's a lot you can do with beeswax, and it's a natural product. So I started Googling, melting, making, having disasters with my recipes. But I made lip balms. So my lip balms was the first product with the beeswax, coconut oil, shea butter, and adding essential oils. And then people were putting the lip balms onto their dogs' paws and noses, and the beeswax was helping them heal and keep their paws dry from being outside. And so I made a pet paw lotion. And then we saw beeswax wraps being advertised on Facebook. So again, I Googled it, did lots of recipes, made some disasters, started making beeswax wraps. They were really popular.
What are they? Sorry, I've got to stop you. What?
So they're as an alternative to cling film. So where people are trying to get away from using plastic, we melt the beeswax and mix it with pine resin and jojoba oil. So the beeswax seals the cotton, but the food can still breathe through the cotton. The pine resin keeps it sticky, and the jojoba oil gives it flexibility. So you can use it over and over again by just cleaning it.
Oh, brilliant.
And you can wrap your food. I've always got lots of bowls of leftovers in my fridge. So that was one product. Then people were asking me to make soaps. So this year I've made soaps. And then just for Christmas, just putting it all together now, just making gift boxes of honey, soaps and lip balms. But making it I like making it really special for people. So building on from my banking days of building relationships and helping people, it's just making nice gifts and presents for people and making it really personal.
Yeah. I mean, that's the bit that you're used to doing. You're more used to from your career of dealing with people and clients. But the beeswax must have been quite a shock.
Yes. And also just the packaging, because I obviously understand that packaging is really important. So it's making sure that you've got a natural product. It's helping something. It's helping someone either with their lips or their food or their dogs. So the soap's really good now for washing your hands. But it was just practice. It's like anything like cooking. Just getting a recipe and practicing.
Yeah, your house must smell amazing.
It is lovely. We were operating from the kitchen a few years ago, but we've now got a summer house in the garden. And so I've got an oven out there and I make everything outside.
Oh, clever.
Summer house. Really good fun. And it's exciting just seeing everything grow, and you can just keep making new products and people want to give you ideas.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now, how do we buy your products?
We mainly wholesale. So we wholesale locally in shops in Sudbury, Lavenham, Bury. We're now expanding into Norfolk. And all my outlets are available on my website, which is busybeescosmetics.uk. But I've also got an online shop now, so I'm also focusing, because of COVID, we've had to change our way of thinking. People want to shop online, and so we've put everything onto our website and all our gift boxes for Christmas.
And I think a gift box with honey and soaps and beeswax products, what a beautiful present.
People seem to like it, so I'm really pleased.
Yeah. And you asked at the beginning, who buys honey?
Yes.
I don't know anyone who doesn't.
No, we are selling a lot of honey. People love honey. Yeah.
Well, it's extremely good for you.
So we've got our Suffolk blended honey, which we take from all the apiaries, but we've also got apiaries in Lavenham and in Long Melford. Then we keep the honey separate. So we've got Lavenham honey, Long Melford honey. We've now got borage honey and ivy honey.
Oh, gorgeous.
They all look different. They all taste different. And I eat a lot of honey now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I just said, it's extremely good for you. I've heard that if you eat very local honey, it can help prevent or treat hay fever.
People do that, and we like it that people buy it. And people say it helps. It's good. There isn't any research at the moment, but they are looking into it. They are testing it, but we can't say for sure that it does definitely help. So we can't advertise that.
No,
But
quite.
people
No,
do
I was
like
just
to-
interested to see what you thought of that. Right. So these beautiful gift boxes with honey and soaps and balms and everything. Could you just say your website again?
So the online shop and where our outlets where you can find all our honey gift boxes and beeswax gifts is busybeescosmetics.co.uk.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Julie. Thanks for talking to us today. And we wish
Thank you very much.
We wish you a very, very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, and thank you for having me on the Suffolk Pod Show. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye.
Last up, it's Claire Potter, founder of Rising High Balloons. Claire has balloons for every day of the week and every event of the year, from vast event or store installations to a perfect personalised single balloon. Claire is wrapping up Christmas and welcoming in the new year for all of us with quite a bang.
Hello, Claire.
Hi there.
Hello, welcome to the Suffolk Pod Show. It's good to have you on. I'm looking forward to hearing about balloons, the balloon world, in fact. Claire, you weren't always in balloons.
No. Previous to balloons, I was in event management. So many moons ago, I did a degree in events, and that was my life sort of prior to children. Yeah.
And then you've just mentioned them, and you had children. From what I understand, or from what you've told me, that you started your balloon business, Rising High Balloons, whilst you were heavily pregnant.
Yes, I did. I was 8.5 months pregnant, and I kind of felt that I needed something to do. I was obviously crazy at the time. I started the business then. Obviously, it was very small, but I did my first few jobs kind of prior to my third child arriving, and yeah, that was kind of how it went, really.
What inspired you to do balloons?
So I started doing balloons because I saw there was a gap in the market locally in Suffolk. I'd seen overseas in America and Australia people doing some amazing things with balloons. When I was in events, I didn't really entirely love balloons. I didn't get them very much for my events. I kind of use them for balls and things like that, sort of 3 balloons on a piece of string. Yeah. But when I saw the Australia doing all this incredible work with sort of giant balloons and just beautiful displays, I just realised they didn't have to sort of be so bog standard, if you like.
No, so simple.
And they could be something quite different.
When we look at balloons now, they're extraordinary. They are amazing. Obviously, you do pretty much everything. You can build a house out of balloons. What events do you do?
I literally cover all sorts of events. Obviously, your birthdays, your anniversaries, baby showers is quite a big one for me. Literally anything. I do sort of individual work. I also do a lot of corporate work. Anything and everything seems to be happening at the moment. Luckily, we haven't been hugely hit as an industry with everything that's going on at the moment. We've been quite lucky because people are at home and they're still wanting to celebrate. So we obviously we've done actually quite well, which I feel really quite bad about. But, we've kept going, and people, because they can't go out and have fun and parties, they want to spend on decorating their homes. So we've done quite well. Obviously, we've lost a lot of corporate side of things.
Well, I don't think you should feel guilty. There's always winners and losers in every single scenario. And we're just really pleased for you.
Thank you. Everyone's so kind. I really have built quite a good support network. I live in Bury, and I've also just been made Suffolk ambassador for NABAS, which is the sort of National Balloon and Party Association. So I'm actually covering kind of the whole of Suffolk, supporting other balloon people who are coming into the industry and making sure that everybody's at a certain level and trained and insured. With lockdown particularly, there's been quite a few people setting up. It's better that you go to somebody that actually knows what they're doing and is fully trained. So that's been quite interesting for me now.
Now, you don't have a shop as such, so everything you do is created bespoke.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, everybody comes to me with obviously an idea, and I produce them something based on sort of what they're asking for. I don't have a shop. I do actually work from home, but people are able to collect from me at home, and I also deliver.
And now this time of the year, I'd expect you're even more busy than usual.
Absolutely. Often I haven't really done Christmas hugely, but this year I feel everybody needs something good to look forward to, and people are setting their Christmas trees up already, and I feel that this year that Christmas is something that everyone's like looking forward to. Everyone needs just some hope, and I believe that this is why I've been so busy over Christmas, booking in. There's so many people booking in for balloons just to make it nice. I do like children's novelty kind of balloons, but I also do the bespoke, the clear, something to decorate your home kind of balloons. And there's a huge variety of things that I can do for you over Christmas.
And then New Year, of course, well, that's the traditional time or one of the major times that you always have balloons. It just feels like it's a balloon time.
My gosh, everyone needs some hope and some positivity, and we're looking forward to saying goodbye to 2020. Well, I know a lot of people are. So New Year's going to be a big one, balloon-wise. Obviously, people are just going to be celebrating at home, so I'll be offering packages for people who are at home. We've got a big kind of following of people that on Instagram and things like that, where people, like photographs with balloons, so that's quite good for us. I genuinely believe that New Year will be quite big for us this year, because everyone wants to say goodbye to 2020 and have something to look forward to for the next year.
Absolutely. Hallelujah. Thank goodness. We're heading in the right direction. Claire, what's your website?
My website is www.risinghighballoons.co.uk.
Lovely. And we can look at pretty much everything, all the collections and things that you do on there?
Most of the things, if you contact me via email or on Instagram or Facebook, I will come back to you on those kind of sites. The thing is with my website, it currently shows everything is out of stock, but it isn't out of stock. So it's not the best thing to look at, but you can actually get a feel for what is on there.
That's fine. Honestly, we've all got imaginations. I think we can manage. Thank you so much, Claire.
Thank you.
It's really interesting to talk to you. Been trying to talk to you for a long time, so it's really nice to catch up with you. Mark and I wish you a very happy Christmas and a very successful festive season.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity. It's been great.
Thank you.
I'm wishing you guys a happy Christmas.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Christmas Suffolk Pod Show. We hope you enjoyed listening, and don't forget to look out for more Christmas editions.
If you'd like to be involved in any of our shows, or you're interested in setting up your own podcast series, please just get in touch. We offer a wide range of podcast services. Just visit podtalk.co.uk. Thanks for listening to the Suffolk Pod Show. Find us on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, or you can visit our website, podtalk.co.uk. And here's our disclaimer.
The Suffolk Pod Show will not be held responsible for any omissions or errors in its podcast.
The Suffolk Pod Show is produced purely for entertainment purposes. Views and opinions are that of our own or that of our guests.